this Yin Yoga practice focused on the overwhelming emotions of anger and fear. My name is Jessica Johns-Green. I'm a licensed professional counselor and 200-hour yoga teacher. And this is a trauma-informed practice, meaning that I'm not so concerned about how deep you can stretch or how well you can do the pose. We're more concerned with bringing back awareness into the body. In trauma, our awareness often has to separate from the current situation, from our body. Our thoughts and our emotions might go in different directions, and we might develop a sort of, numbness or unawareness to emotions. Trauma-informed yoga is meant to bring all those things back together. So listen to your body first and foremost. If anything feels too much, take a break. If you're not feeling anything, then maybe probe a little bit deeper. Or maybe just develop some curiosity about what's happening in that moment, getting deeper into your breath. And if there is anything that you are feeling that is just in a deeper layer somewhere inside. So emotions in the fear family are things like anxiety and worry. And those are thought to be related to the area of the body of the kidneys, sort of these back areas here. Your adrenal glands, where adrenaline comes from, is right there. And so many of the positions that we are going to use in this practice are stimulating those areas. You may feel in your lower back, you may feel in hips and thighs, because those organs have what's thought to be a sort of a line, a meridian that connects all the way through the body. So in a lot of yoga traditions, it's not just where the organ is, but the organ has functions that run through the whole entire body. And your anger-related emotions are thought to be related to your liver. And your liver is right there on the right side of your body. So again, you might find that certain stretches, you feel a stimulation, an opening or a compression of that part. Just breathe into it and be curious about what you feel. You could do with having some things to support this practice. A flat space. Doesn't need to be a yoga mat, but if you have a yoga mat, great. If not, a blanket or maybe a beach towel could be useful. Just even some carpet, some carpeted floor could work. And there's one position where having something to put your hips on will be useful. I have this yoga block, but if you don't have a yoga block, don't worry. There's lots of things around the house that you could use instead. Maybe you have a book or something like that, or maybe there's a pillow that you can sort of roll up and scrunch up to create a sort of height that you can put your hips on. Rolling up some beach towels or some blankets really tightly, a few of them in a stack could work as well. I like always having a pillow and maybe some extra padding in the form of a blanket or a beach towel around just in case I feel like I need it for my knees or just want a little extra comfort. So let's get to it. Let's get your stuff together and get going on this yoga practice. So beginning in an easy seated pose, maybe getting a pillow or block to sit on if it helps your back to be more straight, more tall, more comfortable. You can sit on top of it. And then finding a place to rest the hands, maybe on the knees or in the lap. You might take a moment to roll the neck or the shoulders, just get any last little wiggles out before we settle into stillness for just the first few moments of your practice today. This is the time where we take stock, notice how we've arrived, what sorts of feelings, thoughts, physical sensations we're working with today. And just beginning slowly to experience the sensation of the present moment, bringing your awareness right here into your breath, into your body, just as it is. Not striving to change, just the intention of just observing as you are right now. And what to expect here is that the mind, the thoughts are going to come in and try to get you to run away with them. Notice as they come, but allow them to go as you keep returning into your breath and into the experience that's happening right now. Then maybe taking a deep inhale, you might move your neck, maybe chin up towards the ceiling or chin down towards the chest. And very slowly and gently transitioning onto your back. Take with you that thing, either the block or the pillow or whatever you're going to use to help to lift and provide a platform for the hips in this next position. Just have it somewhere close by your mat where you can grab it. Lowering onto your back, arms by your side, feet planted, knees into the air, heels close to your hips. Using your arms to support you, you're going to start to push into the feet and lift the hips into the air. And then take that block or that rolled up pillow and put it underneath the hips. Somewhere comfortable, maybe on the tailbone region. Nowhere where you feel pain or pinching, but somewhere where you do feel some sensation. Maybe even what you would describe as discomfort as the body is stretching and opening and being stimulated. So no pain, no burning, no tingling, but some sensation. And then once again, begin to settle in to your breath, aiming to increase awareness and bring healing by just moving one breath at a time. If you feel enough sensation with the knees bent, then stay right there. That's perfect. If you are not feeling enough sensation, you feel like you could do a bit more, then start to move the heels along the ground, lengthening out the legs, and let them rest with the knees straight. Breathe into where you feel the sensation. Breathing into the back and the hips. Notice that in these longer held poses, there will be maybe a temptation to move. And of course, you are always welcome to get out of a position, to rest, to leave early, to leave it out completely. But try to notice when that is an impulse that we can breathe through, when it is something that we can stay in. And maybe the discomfort is there, but not something that will stop us.
not something that we need to step away from. You will be your guide. You will know as you start to learn more about your body and as you start to unite the mind and the body. For the last few moments, maybe there's a way that you can soften maybe the face or deepen. If the legs are extended and you want to try something different, you can bring the soles of the feet together, the knees out to the side. That can create an even different sensation. Or just keep the knees bent or the legs straight. Breathing and softening as much as you can, staying in the now, staying here. And then once we've been in the position a while, we want to move very slowly. So if the legs are extended, begin to plant the feet, arms by your side. Inhale to push into the heels, lift up and reach under, grab that block or that pillow, drag it to the side, and then just have a moment of stillness. Maybe your hand can rest on your heart. And then very gently turning on to the side of your body. And from the side of your body, beginning to transition slowly onto your belly, lying flat on the mat. Maybe the arms are on your side, or maybe the hands. Make a little pillow for your head as you just rest for a moment. And very slowly, we're going to start to take the elbows and prop ourselves up onto our forearms, the elbows underneath the shoulders. If this is uncomfortable or you need more support, you can take the pillow or a rolled up blanket, put it underneath the chest to rest on, or even underneath those elbows if you need some padding. The block or something could also come underneath the head to sort of rest the forehead on, if that feels good, just so you can soften into this shape. You're sort of feeling the back, the lower back compress. Again, no pain, but feel that compression and breathe into that area. Through the compression, we're encouraging blood flow. We're encouraging healing. Even the process of your attention, imagining breathing into the area, stimulates the areas of the body that need it the most, that need some restoration and some rejuvenation. So breathe into the lower back, breathe into that kidney area. Keep softening your face as much as you can. Soften through fingers and toes even. And then very, very slowly ease yourself down, chest to the floor, belly to the floor. Your head can turn to the right or the left side as you just release. And then gently easing your way up to hands and knees. And then slowly easing the hips back down towards the heels. The arms long in front. Your back is now curving in the other direction. Just breathe up and down the spine. Recover. Gently transitioning back to your hands and your knees. Maybe the spine could do with resetting. If you wish, you can exhale and arch through the spine, the chin towards the chest. Inhale, lift the chest, drop the belly. This is our cat-cow. You can do this, or maybe some other kind of wiggle or movement, the neck or the hips that helps you to reset as we get ready for the next shape. And once you come to center, start to ease the right knee up towards the right wrist. And the right foot, maybe it will wiggle across a little bit towards the left hand, the left wrist. You can use your hand to help you. The left toes, wiggle them back and behind, and try as much as possible to square the hips down towards the mat. Even using a block or a pillow under the hips if they need support to be able to face down towards the mat. If the hip rolls, use a prop. Now maybe we need our pillow again. When you're ready, easing yourself down as low as your body will go. Maybe we stay on the hands and we feel enough sensation through the hips there. Maybe we can ease down. Again, listening to your body. The goal is to be aware, to be unified with your body, and to heal. Not necessarily to get into the deepest stretch possible, but certainly seek out enough sensation. And once you get to a place of perhaps slight discomfort, sensation, not pain, become as still as you can. Breathe, moving one breath to the next. Just allow yourself to be aware of what it feels like on the floor, on the mat, what it feels like to breathe, taking it all in without the pressure of making sense of it or having an explanation for it. You may notice how the intense sensations that you feel in your hips and your body make the face tense, the eyes might be tense, the forehead. Breathe into there as well and release. As time passes, you may be able to get into the shape a little bit deeper, soften a little bit more somewhere. Maybe the jaw can just release a little bit. Once again, the intention to be slow before we move. Just easing the elbows or the hands under the body. Shifting up slowly. And then we'll turn onto the right hip, maybe coming to the long side of your mat. And extending both heels out, the legs stretched wide. As far as your body will allow, just have a few moments there with the legs extended, breathing. Always have the option here again of sitting on top of a pillow or on top of the block. If the back is not straight or it's difficult to sit on your hips, the pillow or the block is always a good friend if you need. Making the back as straight as possible. And then we begin to turn our attention to the side of our body. So we lean over the left leg. Maybe the arm is down on the leg, on the shin. Maybe we rest the arm, the elbow on a block. It could be in front or behind the leg. Stretching through the side of the body. See if the heart, the torso can face forward. Maybe the arm can reach up overhead, maybe even reaches a foot or a toe. If that's not comfortable, definitely it's okay. Take the hand around your back and try to keep the right hip pushed into the earth as we lean. Feel the side of the body and breathe in there. You'll notice that many of these stretches do have very intense sensations. And so the challenge becomes, how do I stay breathing? How do I stay aware? And what we probably notice, like with overwhelming emotions that we go through, is that the mind wants to get involved and the mind wants to take you somewhere else so that you don't need to feel. It's a constant battle. Keep turning towards the body. And now begin to turn the chest towards the left leg and just take a few moments to drape over the left thigh. Just let gravity pull you. See if you can release your shoulders and the back of your neck. feeling the back of the left thigh, the muscle there, whatever tightness is there. Releasing, breathing. And then slowly coming to center, placing your hands maybe in front or behind your hips. Just allow yourself to settle and just feel the difference between right and left. And then the same love on the other side, running your right hand down your right thigh, maybe inside the thigh, maybe outside, using any props. The left arm might reach up and over. If the chest starts to come down towards the ground, then just ease back a bit. We want that chest facing forward, so the side of the body is doing the work. Left hip pushing into the ground. And once again, breathe into the side. Slowly transitioning, now turning the chest towards the thigh, and just let yourself drape over that thigh. Let gravity do the work. Try not to pull with your neck and your shoulders. Try just to release to wherever your body will allow, and then breathe and feel. Slowly moving to center. Use your hands to support you. So you take a few breaths here. Then placing the hands behind your hips, start to push forward a little bit. So you have the sensation, what is it like to keep a flat back and push forward from the hips? And then maybe the hands can reach out in front. We start to tip forward. Sometimes it's nice to use a block or a pillow to rest on. Maybe allowing yourself to settle and melt into the block to release the tension in the neck, shoulders. But if you don't have that or you don't want that, just feel free to let your hands rest. So now we get both thighs stretching, both hips stretching, the lower back. And noticing when I feel that discomfort, what direction does my mind want to take me? And how can I keep coming back to this calm, slow breath? How can I stay in the sensation and the breath and not get carried away on the tide of thoughts? Begin to use breaths to release. Maybe every inhale brings healing and comfort to an area where there's discomfort. And every exhale just allows a little bit of tension to leave. to escape through the breath. Time and gravity maybe allow a little bit more depth. See what's there. And then the final few breaths, maybe just the last few, maybe you notice that with breathing, with this awareness that you're cultivating in your body, the mind actually becomes more still and quiet over time. Maybe. Certainly with practice, if that's not happening now, that's something that will begin to happen without pressure, without trying, just naturally. Moving very slowly now, maybe build into the hands, the palms a little bit, easing up one little vertebrae bone at a time, and then just find stillness there. Rest for a moment. It may feel good to draw the legs closer together. You can even use your hands, maybe even planting the feet, knees in the air, and just wave them side to side to sort of reset, release. And then turning to the opposite side of the mat or your space, into that tabletop again. Option to begin to round through the spine and open through the spine using your breath if you choose to do that. If you choose to return to some cat-cow or wiggle the hips or roll the neck. Maybe just connecting with your breath. And once you come to center, getting ready to bring the left knee towards that left wrist. Maybe the left ankle or foot will shift across. You can try to use your hand if you need to pull it a little bit. Wiggle the right toes back. And once again, starting to settle into this shape. Using pillow or block or whatever you need. Can even be underneath your hips to help you to be straighter. Hips may be turned to the side, or turn them towards the mat as much as your body will allow. And then if there is space, just letting yourself get deeper. Seeking that sensation. For most of us, there is a difference between left hip and right hip. So one side might feel easier, more comfortable than the other. like everything in this yoga practice, we just take it as it is. One breath at a time, just breathing into whatever we can notice and just saying, yes, that is there. That's how it is. Because one characteristic of fear emotions, of anger emotions, is that they have a big impact on our thinking. I mean, perhaps all emotions do, but in anger and fear, the mind gets very busy looking for reasons, looking for solutions, looking for explanations. And here you're just teaching your body that we can just take it one breath at a time. We don't need the thought right now. We don't need the reasons or the explanations. We can find peace and restoration as we are in this moment, even with the discomfort. So just keep working with that. It's a skill. It's not necessarily going to come naturally, but it's something you'll cultivate through repeatedly returning to your breath. Repeatedly returning to the commitment to awareness into this moment. Body softens, face softens. With each breath. And once again, first commit to being slow before you slowly build up into your hands. This time, swing the right leg around in front of you. And then ease yourself down onto your back. Maybe the knees are bent at first. Just let yourself rest for a moment. Let the floor hold you. And then taking the heels about as wide as your mat, maybe just a bit wider than your hips. The arms out over top of you, long, almost like making a Y shape with the arms, or big X with the body. And then start to ease the left foot over towards the right foot. And the left hand over towards the right hand. You're going to make a little crescent shape, a little banana shape with your body. As much as possible, keeping the shoulders on the earth, the hips on the earth, so the bend is coming through the side of the body. And just breathing into the side of the body there. You can use the hand to pull the other wrist across. You can cross the ankles or not. See where you can find that sensation And then breathe into the side. Slowly releasing. The arms reach up overhead. The legs extend. Heels wide. Just take a moment to feel the difference between the sides. And then let's return the favor. So moving to the opposite direction. Making that little crescent shape. Shoulders and hips onto the mat, but the side of the body curving. Maybe the ankles will crisscross, maybe not. What feels right, your body will tell you. Maybe the hand pulls the wrist across. Just seek out a sensation in this side. Very slowly releasing, coming back to center. And then bend the knees, hug the knees into the chest, into the belly, maybe rock and roll side to side. Massage the lower back. Maybe tuck the forehead into the knees for a moment. Before we release, completely flat, arms by your side, legs are long. These last few moments of stillness here. Let the whole body breathe. And let the floor hold you. Taking a deep inhale. Stretch the arms overhead, point the toes. And with your exhale, pull the knees in. Give that last hug and squeeze before you roll onto your side. Just rest there on your side for a moment. With gently pushing into your hands, return to that seated position. Let's seal your practice. Maybe the hands rest on the knees or the palms can come together in front of the heart. May you be healed. May you be well. Namaste.
So again, thank you for joining me. I hope that this practice offered you something wonderful. I hope that it was healing and restorative. I would just encourage you to take some time to reflect on what it was like for you, what the feelings were like before, what they're like after, what you noticed during, where you noticed your mind going, maybe even make some notes or a journal entry. I would love to hear as well. Please feel free to leave me any comments down below. As always, liking this video, subscribing to the channel is very much appreciated. And until next time, be well.